Millie Weaver reporting for Infowars.com. While in Ohio, I was able to obtain a copy of Cleveland Magazine, which features Donald Trump on its cover, and inside it contains a complete schedule of the formal proceedings that will occur during pre-convention week as well as convention week. What's interesting is that pre-convention week is when the rules for the RNC convention will actually be decided, and it will be voted on the first day of convention week by the delegates. What's interesting is that there were several statements made in this Cleveland Magazine article that strongly showed the RNC's wish to derail Donald Trump's presidential nomination as the Republican Party candidate for president. When the city originally signed up to host the RNC, they were not expecting somebody like Donald Trump that would actually represent the people. They were expecting an establishment candidate. They were expecting Jeb Bush, or maybe even a return of Mitt Romney. Here's some of the statements that were made in the article. The article states, Trump's nomination is a direct challenge to the party establishment and an attempt to remake it along more nationalist, populist, and working class lines. It goes on to state, Trump's candidacy is already a black swan event, the surprise that scrambles the old rules, inferring that the old rules are no longer fitting for today and kind of suggesting that they would like to change the rules. The Republican convention in Cleveland could be different, a rare modern convention where the party tensions won't be papered over, but will play outside of the arena and in the streets with the whole world watching. So I'm not really sure what that's foreshadowing, but it doesn't sound too good. It sounds like they could attempt to try and change the rules last minute, if this is kind of foreshadowing something. They also down-talk Trump supporters and make it seem as though Trump is to blame for the poor working class getting more involved in the Republican Party. Now, here's what we can expect during the RNC. The pre-convention week will be July 11th through July 15th. During this week, the 4 convention committees will meet to set the convention's official agenda. It's very important that we pay close attention to this week because if an attempt to derail Trump's nomination is going to take place, it could very well start up at the Credentials Committee, which votes on challenges to delegates' rights to be seated, or the Rules Committee, which can make changes to the convention's rules. Think of the RNC and its delegates like a board game. This week is when they all go meet to discuss and set the rules for the game. If somebody's going to try and sneak in a bunch of cheats and loopholes, this is going to be the time that they're going to do it. Well, the actual vote on the rules actually occurs the first of the actual convention week. So let's move on to that. So, convention week. It will be July 18th through July 21st. Day 1. The delegates' credentials will be verified, and they will vote on the rules of the conventions that the party suggests and the platform. Like I said, if any attempt to derail Trump is going to happen, this is going to be the day that matters because this is going to be when the delegates can actually vote to stop any attempt, or they could vote to approve. Then, Day 2. The convention will broadcast prime time from 7 to 11 p.m. during this time. There will be a speech likely from Donald Trump and likely from other RNC representatives. And then Day 3. The formal vote for the presidential nominee will happen on Day 3 of the convention. And this could be a very controversial day. If Trump is rightfully nominated, we could very well see anti-Trump riots and protests in the streets following the event. Or if the convention tries to pull a stunt, we could then see Trump protesters angry and potentially protesting and, getting out in the streets and voicing their opinions. So then, day 4. This is the day that the presidential nominee, assuming it be Trump, he will give his acceptance speech. There have been reports that Trump may give his acceptance speech at the First Energy Stadium. It's also rumored that Trump may have a second stage set up for entertainment, and he may even announce his VP choice and his cabinet choices live on stage. It's likely that there will also be anti-Trump party poopers out in the streets rioting when they're upset watching the Trump supporters celebrating their victory as Trump for the 2016 presidential campaign. So this is also going to be a day where we could see any type of anti-Trump protests or riots out on the streets. This is a map of the activities that will be going on during the RNC convention. As you can see, there's a lot going on, and this is going to be very hard to maintain security. It looks like it's going to be a very exciting RNC event in Cleveland, and definitely one for the history books. This is Millie Weaver signing off for Infowars.com.